Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. I'm Amber Rose, also known as the Religious Hippie. You can basically follow me on any social media platform, or you can go to my official website at thereligioushippie.com. On my website, you'll find economy rosaries, haters will be prayed for prayer journals, and St. Jude prayer mugs. So if you're looking for a way to help support my ministry and looking for some good Christmas gifts this year, definitely go check it out. I linked it below in the description. However, if jewelry is more your speed and you're looking for some good jewelry gifts this year for Christmas, go check out Immaculate Bless. You can get 15% off plus free United States shipping. So definitely go check her out. She has beautiful quality Catholic jewelry. You will not be disappointed. So you guys, it's so crazy. Advent is almost here. It starts on December 3rd. And for some reason, I thought it started a week earlier than it did. And I was like, oh my gosh, I have like no time to prepare. I have no time to get ready. And then one of my followers told me like, oh no, actually it starts on December 3rd. And I'm like, good. That gives me a little extra time to prepare. So this video is basically going to be a little explanation about Advent. I've done a few Advent videos in the past. And so I've kind of just been redoing them every single year to see what I do different. Most of the time the stuff stays the same. There's nothing specific that changes, but I figured, why not? Let's talk about it again. So this is the way that I like to explain Advent to people who don't exactly know what it is. I try to explain it in the way that you would prepare for a birthday party. You're cleaning, you're prepping, you're getting sweets, you're making sure everyone got an invite, and you have all of that stuff in order. That is basically what Advent is like. It's us preparing for the birth of Jesus, or the second coming of Christ. Advent comes from the Latin word adventus, which means coming or arrival. Like I said, we're not just preparing for the birth of Christ on Christmas, but we are also preparing ourselves for the second coming of Christ. We need to stay vigilant and always be prepared for the second coming of Christ, because we are told that he will come like a thief in the night. We don't know the day or the hour that Christ will come, so it's best to always be prepared. Be in a state of grace, receive the sacraments regularly, add mental prayer and the rosary to your daily prayer routine. Gabby and I actually just did a podcast/video about this, so I'll link that below if you guys are interested in that. Those things are all really important to prepare ourselves for the coming of Christ. We celebrate Advent over the course of 4 weeks. These 4 weeks signify the 4,000 years of darkness in the world before Christ was born. Advent is a time of prayer, fasting, and reconciliation. I highly suggest doing the St. Andrew Novena, going to confession, and or incorporating an Advent devotional in your daily prayer routine. When it comes to devotionals, I know that a lot of people get overwhelmed because there are just so many devotionals out there. So the first time I participated in Advent since coming back into my faith, what I did was I read a chapter of Luke every single day during Advent, and when you end, you'll end on Christmas, and that also happens to be the birth of Jesus in the Gospel of Luke. So I think this is a perfect Advent devotional. It really doesn't take that much time or planning, and it's perfect if you have kids. I have this devotional that I am planning on using once again this year. Last year I talked about it because it didn't arrive in the mail when I originally did the video, and it arrived and I was able to do it, and it added so much depth to my Advent journey. So I highly suggest you get an Advent devotional book, something like this. So that's something I'm really looking forward to diving into this year once again. Also this year, my future mother-in-law, she bought an Advent puzzle calendar. So basically every day during Advent, it's kind of like an Advent calendar. They give you 400 pieces of a puzzle, and you put those 400 pieces together, and then throughout the course of Advent, you have this beautiful image of Our Lady and Jesus. So really excited for that. That should be a lot of fun. I'm also planning on decluttering, but if I'm being honest with you guys, that's something that I do all year long. So it's not specifically anything special that I'm adding around Advent. It's just kind of normal for me, to be honest, but it is really important that if you are not a declutterer, that you spend time decluttering your house and your heart. I think a lot of people don't think of that when they think of decluttering. When they hear that word, what they think of is like, oh, I have to give a bunch of stuff to Goodwill, I need to make sure that I'm spring cleaning, etc. And all of that is really good, but are we decluttering our minds and our hearts? What I mean by this is, are you decluttering sin from your life? Are you decluttering the amount of bad TV shows, songs, and movies that you watch? This is a really good time to take a deep dive into the stuff you are consuming, entertainment-wise, and see if there's any changes that need to be made. Unlock the magic of giving with Cross Catholic Outreach's Box of Joy. This holiday season, fill a child's heart with joy by sending a box of love and essentials. Make their Christmas extraordinary. Visit boxofjoy.org and share the spirit of giving today. I am also very excited to get out Advent wreaths and candles. Of course, this was always one of my favorite traditions growing up because I got to hold a lighter. My parents otherwise would not trust me with one, and I don't blame them. Now, there are some toddler-safe Advent wreaths. which my parents did not have when we were kids, but those are available. So I'll link some of those below in the description for you guys if that's something you're interested in. You don't trust your toddler with fire. But with an Advent wreath, there's 5 candles. There's 3 violet candles, 1 rose candle. It's rose. It's not pink, okay? Jesus didn't pink from the dead. He rose from the dead. And then there's 1 white candle in the center of the wreath. These colored candles correspond with the vestments you'll see your priest wear during the Sundays of Advent. You'll see your priest wear the rose-colored vestment on Gaudete Sunday, which means abundant joy. It basically marks the halfway point to Jesus's birth, so it's a time for rejoicing at the near birth of Jesus. Anyways, these candles also have names. I bet you guys didn't know that. Or maybe you did. You guys are really smart. The first candle you're going to light is a violet candle, and it's called the prophecy candle. The second candle you're going to light is also a violet candle, and that one's called the Bethlehem candle. The third week of Advent, you're going to light the shepherd's candle, which is also the rose-colored candle. For the fourth week of Advent, you are going to light the final violet candle, which is called the angel's candle. And then on Christmas Day, you can light the big white candle in the center. This candle obviously signifies Christ's birth. So in case you didn't know that was a little tidbit on these Advent candles. So some other things you can do during Advent, maybe you're thinking like, oh, Advent's coming up so quick, I don't know what to do. I got you, because that was me yesterday as I was typing up the script, so bear with me. You can volunteer. It's always good to give back during this time of year. It should be all times of year, but especially around this time of year, people seem to be very cheery and giving, so it's really good to donate your time or money and efforts to anyone in need. It's a great way to give back. Start doing a holy hour once a week if your church gives a holy hour, and if they don't have a holy hour, find a church that does, because, every church should have a holy hour. I'm just saying. You can also listen to Advent music. It's not the same as Christmas music, okay? Almost not the same. It's kind of the same. Okay, it's kind of the same, but it's a little different. I put the playlist below. You guys can check it out for yourselves. Going to confession and doing a good examination of conscience is also really important during this season. I'll link below the Bulldog Catholic PDF because they have a great examination of conscience. It's the one that I always use, so I'm going to suggest it to you guys. We also have some solemnities and feast days during the season of Advent. December 6th is the feast day of St. Nicholas. December 8th is the Solemnity of the Immaculate Conception. This is a holy day of obligation. December 12th is the feast day of Our Lady of Guadalupe, and December 13th is the feast day of St. Lucy. There are wonderful traditions that come with these feasts and solemnities, so I highly suggest you look them up and check out some traditions, especially if you have kids. These are great ways to incorporate your kids and get them more involved in the liturgical year. So now, let's see what you guys are doing for Advent. Do you guys also like my case? It's a new radiation case that's supposed to keep me from getting radiation. Per usual, I put up on my Instagram some Q&A kind of box, and I asked you guys what you were doing for Advent. So this is what you guys had to say. One of you guys said you're spending the first weekend of Advent at a Jesuit retreat house. So that sounds really cool. Hopefully that goes really well. I think retreats are really needed these days. I really wanted to go on one, but unfortunately with holidays and stuff, it just didn't line up with our schedule. But retreats are really important. If you can't go during the holiday season, definitely go over the summer or when you have a break. They're really nice. They're really nice. Kevin said he's thinking of doing a social media fast. I highly suggest this. I think everybody needs to do a social media fast. A lot of you guys are doing novenas. That's awesome. A lot of prayers going on and fasting. It's really, really cool. Jay said he's fasting, abstaining from alcohol, and practicing the 7 corporal works of mercy. Yes. Pablo said he's following along on the Hallow app and reading Theotokos. That's awesome. I heard it's a really, really good book. Mags said that my friends and I are Catholic, so we are going to send each other saint quotes and scriptures every day. Aw, I love that. A lot of you guys are doing the St. Andrew novena. That's going to be really fun. I love that. A lot of you guys actually said, well, I say a lot. There's like 5 of you, said that you guys discovered the TLM in your area and you're going to go for midnight mass this year. That's going to be so fun. You guys are going to love it. Definitely leave early though and get a parking spot. With all of that being said, guys, I would love to know what you guys are doing for Advent. Comment below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Bye! Bow, 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 bow.